Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my first English bullet journal video for you, and today's video is about my most used and all my best favorite spreads of the year 2016, because bullet journaling is a lot about flexibility and the process in general. But from time to time and from month to month, you kind of figure out which spreads are working best for you and which enhance your productivity. So I want to flip through my bullet journal of 2016 and I will switch to a new one in 2017. And I'm gonna make a setup video on my German channel, and I will also do a blog post in English as well. So you will be able to read this and I will link it down below. So this is my index. And the first spread I want to talk about is the habit tracker and my memories page. So I just marked all my habit trackers with those super cute sticky notes. So I started my bullet journal in July, and my first habit tracker was really colorful, and I really like this one. It looks really nice, but as you can see here, it's kind of hard to always have the right colors on hand and to remember the right colors. So you will see on the next one. So this one, I kind of mixed it up a little and decided on color for like different topics. So this was more like a domestic or health related column, and this was more also health related, and kind of random. But still, 3 colors are a lot to handle. Memories page as well, I really like those. Then I switched to 1 color in general. And this is really handy, but I don't know, the Tombows tend to... I don't know if I switched up the color like by accident or if they just dry out and look different from time to time. And then I also added a mood tracker on the bottom of the page, as you can see here. And stick with 1 color as well. And I started with those little black dots. I don't know if you really can see them, but it's just to accentuate those little dots from the Leuchtturm. But it's a hassle to do, and I think I skipped those on the next one. Oh wait, is it here? Yeah, I skipped those, so it's more easy. I still kept the mood curve here on the bottom of the page, and I will also keep it in my new journal. And then for December I switched over to those dots, so the filling out of those little squares looks kind of messy sometimes. So for people that are really into the streamlined and minimalistic look of a bullet journal, this is way better than the first one. I think the habit tracker is my most used and also one of my favorite spreads of the year. And I just wanted to show you like the evolution of it and also of my memory pages. I think it always depends on how much time you can spend on drawing stuff and coloring it in. And it's a page for freestyle doodling. But the only thing I mixed up in the end of the year was that you can kind of play with the format of the page, or if you want to do like shapes, like these bubbles. So you can draw something in the bubbles and it has more or less like a layout. So this worked really well for me. What also is really nice is the sleep tracker. I started it in November. And the only problem I have with those is that I tend to forget to fill those out. I will try to keep up the sleep tracker in my new journal as well, but so far I didn't really did a good job with like filling it out in time and really remembering like how many hours I slept. So those spreads are not my most well-used ones, but I really like them, so I will try to continue them in the new year. The spread I absolutely hate the most, or I just haven't figured it out yet, is the monthly log. So my layout also changed quite a bit. I will show you my first monthly log ever. It's here. Oh, it didn't even change that much. I write out like all the days of the week and try to kind of mark like if I go away on a trip, or I experimented with marking like my upload days, and I always had my goals on the other side. But as you can see here on my first monthly log, you could also combine those two. And I also did this. I think I didn't do it the next month, but like the month after or so. Yeah, this is more or less the same, but still this page is kind of wasted, and you can see like the dots of the habit tracker showing through like a lot, so it makes sense to get rid of them. And a lot of people also ask me which pen I use. It's the Staedtler pigment liner in 0.3. So when I did those spreads, I still had a pen from Faber-Castell, and this one tends to show up less the page before, so it's a lot better. So I will talk about my weekly spreads in a minute, but still you can see those pages look kind of unfinished. They don't really have a purpose besides showing off your goals. I mean, that's important, but still you could make more of those pages. It's the same. I want to show you like one of the pages. Here I try to combine it, and still there is so much space. So if you know like a nice bullet journal person on Instagram or YouTube with a really nice and neat monthly log, link them down below, because I'm still looking for the perfect layout here. So which spreads I really like are the weekly spreads. I think I made those up myself, so I have like a timeline for the week over here, and I tend to switch those boxes up. Most of the time I have a YouTube and blog box here, like for videos or blog posts I want to do. Try to show you some more, because it's interesting to see like the evolution as well. I experimented with a gratitude log here, but I tend to forget to fill it out. So in the beginning I did a lot of like weather forecast here and meal planning. And beside my blog and YouTube dump, I also have like a box for work stuff and mostly like deadlines for like freelance projects. And you can see like how much the Tombow colors change, like because it's all the same color, and it tends to, looks funny after a while. This is my ideal weekly spread. And after that I tend to do daily spreads with my to-do lists. And I customize those depending on which stuff I'm focusing on in the particular day or in the week. So I started out with super streamlined and minimalistic spreads here. And after a while, I think this is my favorite weekly spread, by the way. So after a while I tried to experiment with those timelines on the side. I'm not so sure how I feel about these, because I tend to switch around my calls and meetings a lot. So when I color them in here, I mean 5 minutes later I change them and then they're here. So yeah, that's not that good for me, because I am kind of used and I kind of love the flexible layout. But still, I mean, I also added some water glasses for tracking your water intake. You can customize those every other week. Other spreads I use, so I didn't really love my future log, and as you will see in my new bullet journal, I totally messed it up in my new one as well. So this is absolutely not my favorite. Really good was my book log, but this one, got a stain on it and I didn't really fill it out that much, but in general it's a nice idea. And as a blogger or YouTuber, what's also like really helpful and nice is a spread or a page to track your social stats and analytics. So I did this here. So YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Blog, Lovin, Snapchat and Facebook. I changed it up for my new one without the doodles, because this didn't really fit my style after all. So the next one I have must be a workout log. Surprise, surprise, I only had one page for the whole, like for the half year of 2016 after I started bullet journaling. But yeah, Maybe I will fill those up quicker in the new year, I hope so. I write down my workouts, the duration, the date, and like notes. Then sometimes when you have to fill up like a random empty page, I did like a washi tape collection, so that's always nice. So which other spreads did I like? What I also really liked were my sketch notes. So when I listened to a webinar or when I went to a conference or so, I tried to scribble down stuff. Did not only take notes, but also did sketch notes, because then you tend to memorize stuff a little bit better, and yeah, it looks more pretty and it's more fun basically. So I really like those. And what else? Yeah, you can see more sketch notes here. What I also did was planning my September issue video month with my bullet journal. So this was the first brainstorming, I guess. And I also did the planning for my recipe ebook in my bullet journal. That was also really helpful. I also did like a little brainstorming for a trip or like a visitor, because I had someone coming over from Germany to visit me here in London, and I did like the brainstorming what we can do here, like on empty pages to just fill them up, and also like a little washi tape collection. I think those are my most used spreads. One thing that didn't really work for me but looks really pretty, this is a bullet journal layout for a daily spread I saw on Instagram, and you can just put the timeline in the middle, and if you have like two very different topics or tasks in your daily life, like work life and personal life, you can tend to mark and note them down on this side and on this side, just to keep it apart, and put the weather and the forecast and stuff and the date on top, water tracker. And what's also really nice, to mark down your most important tasks. So to prioritize your 3 most important tasks and write down 1, 2, 3, and just make sure that you get those done at first. So this is something I will continue to do in my new bullet journal as well, but I think, to be honest, that this layout was too complicated to draw in my daily life and took too much time. I think this one, like super simple, is the most convenient, and it's not so time consuming, and I can handle to do this in my daily life, but all this chisel is a little bit too much. So yeah, that's all. I mean, I really like my memories pages, they are really personal, and I really like the mood tracker I added here. And yeah, I think that's all for now. I will just flip through a little bit now so you can see like the different layouts and get a little bit of inspiration. I think this is by far one of my favorite spreads, and yeah, this is also a great motto. So if you now want to see the whole setup of my bullet journal 2016, head over to the blog. I will link it down below so you can see my whole setup. And if you want to know how I set up my new bullet journal, this one, I'll give you a little sneak preview. Messed up something here as well. So those are all the basic pages, not filled out yet. This is something really interesting. Then go over to my German channel, there are subtitles available, or just check out the pictures on my blog of this one, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!